Okay, so I'm just going to give you quickly a assessment overview. Okay, so I'm just going to give a brief top level view. You're probably already going to know this stuff, but it's worthwhile just covering it just in case there's anything that isn't missing, and also for the recording for other people who maybe are going to be looking at the session afterwards, so they can have a little bit of a squiz it. Okay, so we've got the assessment overview. Now this is about assessments. Assessments are used to evaluate students with a series of multi-choice questions. Okay, so first of all, we're going to look at whether or not this is a good fit. It's not perfect for every situation where you might want to do e-learning. It's good in some cases, but in others it might be more appropriate to use a full learning management system, which can be integrated into with course sales. I'm going to look at the benefits. So what are the things that I think make this assessment plugin really good? And so maybe you can see some of the benefits that way. I'm going to then show you how we have questions, and the questions are fields stored within a form, and the assessments are the forms themselves. And then I'm going to show you the student workflow. So what is the student going to experience in the process of completing one of these assessments? Okay, so is it a good fit? Well, look, this is for quick and easy quizzes and assessments. Okay, quick and easy they are. They're pretty easy to set up. You can you reuse the questions. You can end up basically creating lots of different quizzes or assessments as you require, and they're self-marking as well, which is pretty important. Okay, so the assessment plugin, it's ideal. Oh, we've got somebody here waiting to come in. Let's just admit this person in. Oh, she's in there twice. Let's see which one. I'm not sure which one of these Stacys is the real Stacey. Oh my gosh, for some reason we've got three Stacys connected. I don't know what's happening there. Anyway, I'll continue with the slide until we get to find out what's going on with Stacey. Maybe she's connecting from multiple devices, I don't know. Okay, so the assessment plugin allows multi-choice questions. It displays brief content, so brief learning content, and you only need to use one system to edit, update, and use with the assessment plugin. So it's all incorporated into course sales. It's all incorporated into the workflow. It uses forms and fields, which you need to be able to be familiar with anyway within course sales if you're going to be modifying any of your enrollment forms. So it makes it nice and easy in that regard. Less effort to learn a new system is basically already there. Now, learning management system integration, however, that's for more sophisticated content, for something like SCORM. And if you don't know what SCORM is, SCORM is basically a standard that allows learning content to be distributed with a pre-configured set of functionality and workings. If you need to track time of completion. So sometimes, for example, you've got to make sure that students do a particular work for a certain period of time, like for half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever it is. If you need to track time of completion, then a learning management system is a better way to go, the integration of that. Also, if you need to upload any assignments, or if your courses over a long time, so for example, if you're not doing single units of competency, if you're doing courses which span over quite a long time, say they're a full qualification, maybe months, maybe even over a year, then you're probably better off using a learning management system integration into course sales rather than the assessment plugin, because it's able to handle much more variety of interactions between the trainer and the student, much more interactions with regards to multiple choice questions with a variety of different types of, I don't know what's going on with Stacey, but I've had to admit her a few more times. We'll see if she joins in. So you've got the two alternatives. You've got the assessment plugin, which we're going through today, or the learning management system integration, which for us is Moodle, and we'll go through that on another day. Okay, so what are the benefits? So the benefits to the using the assessment plugin is that you can incorporate into your existing workflow. So you've got an existing workflow within course sales that involves things like enrollment, transferring students, cancelling students. It's in that existing workflow that the assessment plugin operates. Does not require students to log in. Okay, so they don't need a username and password, which is pretty handy. Nothing worse than having students not remember what usernames and passwords are for a learning management system and have to fix that. So if you've got a lot of students, like if you're processing thousands of students, this is a pretty good way of being able to get some assessments done, knowing that it's them who's done the assessment and not have to have them log in and deal with those issues around losing passwords and usernames. Easy to use, easy to edit the forms and fields. Like I said, you already know how to do that. So another way you can get it done pretty easily. Simple multi-choice radio questions. The good thing about them being simple is that you can then, you know that students already know how to answer those questions. You know, multi-choice questions where you have a list and you got to choose one of them. It's a very standard way of asking questions. So that certainly helps with the uptake on students to be able to get up to speed and be able to complete the assessments. It does allow savings of draft. Now that is in beta. There's a next release coming out which is going to enable that. And these draft savings are automatic. So if you've got a long set of questions, like you've got 100 questions or so, we'll be able to save the drafts pretty easily. And you can have multiple pages. So you can actually separate out the content, and I'll show you shortly how to do that, out into multiple pages. You could have 10 pages per section. You can have different learning content for each page as well. And basically you can do an unlimited number of assessments. You can do as many as you want. You can set up hundreds of assessments if you wish to, using those the same functionality that you'll have within Course Sales. And you can reuse the questions across different assessments. So you can mix and match the questions to create a different teaching or a different assessment methodology for different courses. Okay, so let's go on to the next page. Okay, so here's an example of how the questions look out of the box. And you can see here, you just got a simple question with the 2 options, simple question with the 3 options. You can have up to 6 options, and you can have a minimum of 2 options. You can also include HTML in the question. So if you need to list some items in the question, you can do that. If you need to bold certain words, you can do that as well. And you can have up to 6 of these options to choose from. And you can, in fact, have different values for a particular question. So you could award a question with multiple marks if you think it's particularly tricky and they deserve to have access to that. I'm just going to check Stacey out. She's joined us. I'm just going to unmute you, Stacey, just to see if I can talk to you. Oh,
can you hear me?
I can hear you, Stacey. Well done. Okay. Did you have a bit of trouble getting in?
Yeah, I've had to connect through my phone because on my computer it won't connect.
That's so crazy, isn't it? Oh, I'm glad you managed to make it. That's excellent. Well, welcome. Yeah. And we've only just really started. I'm just doing an overview of the assessments. I think you're pretty au fait with it, so it's probably going to be all stuff you know. But feel free to ask questions in the chat or unmute yourself and ask a question. We've just got Joe with us as well. So
no worries.
Got some
Thanks,
friends
Scott.
close by. Cheers. Bye. Okay, so that's what the questions are going to look like. Now, this is what an assessment looks like. So this is one that we did for Links EPR. Up here, we've got it's actually learning content. So we have a video up at the top there, and then we have a series of questions below. So we're able to put different bits of content in different places because we're using fields. And in fact, you can include this as a field or not. And then you can have each of these questions specified in a particular sequence as you need it to. And this is what the customer would see. They would see these lists here. You can customize this as well. You can change the look of the fonts. You can obviously change the logo on the top there and do quite a few clever things. Okay, so this is the workflow. So an email goes to the student. The student clicks on the link in the email that takes them to the assessment. They complete the assessment and submit it. That applies the assessment completed step, and then you can optionally then trigger something else to occur. So rather than just record the fact that the person's completed the assessment, you do have the option to send a certificate, send an email, or export some data as well. So there's a number of different options there available to you. Anything you can do currently with a process step, you can then do here as well. So we can send an email off to a trainer, for example, to let them know that someone's completed that assessment. And in fact, in the trainer portal, the trainer can go in and have a look at the results of those assessments too.